the guru of Squad 00, the assassin like no other, yes, I'm the best at what I do, one of the most notorious in YouTube anime and manga community. Don't doubt the infamy, please. This video is interesting because coming in, I don't know, the last couple years, specifically the last couple months, last few months I should say, leading up into this Age of Ultron, I was not stoked for the movie, okay? I was not stoked for this Avengers 2. And I'll explain all of that and why, and my understanding that I gleaned from watching Age of Ultron, as well as a few other things along the way. Now, the reason I wasn't stoked for the Avengers, I was, let me put it this way. The first Avengers movie, I was hyped for. Here's why. Now, I was skeptical because I was hoping that, you know, I think Iron Man 2 had come out and I hadn't watched, but then eventually later watching it. You know, I watched some of the Marvel movies, some of them hit on point, some of them were hold the brakes kind of thing. With the Avengers, I was not, I mean, I was hyped because I had wanted an Avengers movie for years, to say the least. But then what they delivered was a good movie at best. It was nothing to knock your socks off. It was nothing stellar. The story, the plot was, it was okay. It was okay. It was nothing to really, it wasn't really memorable, to say the least, okay? The characters that they chose was problematic. It was, not only wasn't the original, was it not the original 6 Avengers, but the Avengers that they chose, I was scratching my head. Okay, I understood Captain America. I mean, you had to have Captain America win the Avengers. I mean, he is the hero. Okay, he's on the level of Superman, Son Goku, Beowulf, and a few others that you can think of in history. He's on that level of heroes. Okay. You had Iron Man made a load of sense because, and I'll get into why he also made sense later in his relationship with Captain America. But Iron Man, Tony Stark definitely made sense. The Incredible Hulk most definitely made sense. I mean, these characters are legendary when it comes to it. The Mighty Thor made sense too. But Hawkeye, Clint Barton, and Black Widow? Specifically Black Widow made no sense. None. Now look, I love me some Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is a phenomenal actress, and she's gorgeous. Let's keep it real. She's gorgeous. She played the role very well. No, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was perfect for Tony Stark. You don't get a better one than that. The casting was quite well. The casting went quite well. I mean, Scarlett Johansson with Black Widow made perfect sense. Bruce Banner, I'll get into more of the other ones. Thor, okay. Captain America, okay. But yeah, man, it was like Hawkeye. At least he has superhuman capabilities, and I'm not taking away from Black Widow because she's fine in her own right. But it's like, Black Widow? Are we serious? Out of all the people y'all could have picked, Black Widow? Nah, bro, she too human for what they were facing. Not only that, Black Widow somehow, do you remember the scene where she hijacked one of the vehicles? She somehow knew alien technology like that. What? Nah, that was whack. Hawkeye was questionable, to say the least. Why? Hawkeye of all people. He didn't even don his suit. He didn't even don his classic suit, man, the purple. Why? Makes no sense. His face is all uncovered and whatnot. It makes no sense. It makes no logical sense. But we continue. I didn't even know there was a black Nick Fury. Okay? Apparently they took Ultimate Marvel. Nick Fury's always been white. He had brunette and he had the white strip. It's always, I grew up watching from animated Spider-Man, the animated series, to otherwise with S.H.I.E.L.D. It was always a white dude. Not to make this racial, but I was like, who is this? I thought they made up this character. And for Samuel L. Jackson. Phenomenal actor, but still. Why? It made no sense. It made no logical sense. For Nick Fury. Just leave things as was. The classic. That was another point. I didn't even. It made no sense to me. It made no sense why they went that route. It really didn't. Then you can add on they depowering downplaying abilities. Let's keep it real. The Hulk could have easily wrecked that army. Easily by himself, solely could have wrecked that. The Mighty Thor pretty much as well. Easy, casual. I get the whole team aspect, but seriously, they didn't need help. Okay, even Iron Man would have wrecked most of it by himself. So you know that this was supposed to be earlier on, but here's the problem. These clearly were not earlier on in their careers. Clearly, because you had a middle-aged Bruce Banner, you had a Tony Stark that was world famous, Captain America's been out of the ice, Thor's been known, Black Widow's been a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a minute, and Clinton Barton's been a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a long minute too. So it made no sense chronologically what was going on. Depowering him, not making sense chronologically. Loki, oh God, help us. The god, like, pretty much the god of deception, god of lies, the god of a few things. Loki, they made him look so weak. Now, against Hulk, he's taking that L. But Loki can throw hands with Thor. Did you see Loki throw them hands? No. Loki was weak. Why was Loki weak? Where was the sorcery from Loki? Loki is one of the more formidable, I ain't saying most, but he's one of the more formidable foes in the Marvel Universe. Seriously. Downplayed him. There's probably a couple other minor aspects that I won't go into with, you could say, personal preference, but yeah, it was like, what are they doing? So I was not happy. Again, it was a good movie. I liked the few aspects, but it was like, and the way that they had the story, the end was, But then here's another point. When I heard about Age of Ultron, do you remember? I think was it Baron? I forget who was after the cutscene. The person they showed, the purple dude. I thought they were going that route. Nope, they scrapped that and went to Ultron, which actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise, and I'll get there. When it came to Age of Ultron, surprisingly, very good movie, very nicely done, very well executed, and it made me understand where they were going with the series. They were retelling the story of the Avengers. They were retelling this Avengers story, okay? When it comes to it, they're focused on characterization and character development, as well as the interpersonal relationships between each of the Avengers. It was phenomenally done. I don't want to spoil. I'm going to try to keep this as least amount of spoiler friendly as can be. Black Widow and the way that they had the romance, they show in the whole, they show how hard it is for these individuals to have these kind of relationships, okay? And again, I don't want to, there's some spoiler, I don't, with Captain America, Hawkeye, not so much Tony Stark, we already know about that, and Thor, but you see that they've been developed over the years, that they've been fighting together, and it seems that they're coming at the end. They dealt with Hydra, which was, thank you, great point. Introduction of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, which I was not expecting. Very well done, and segued in, to mutants dealing with and the connection between mutants, whether it be X-Men or not, as well alongside the Avengers. Very nicely done. The fact that Vision was in the movie. Yes! Vision finally got some love. Vision finally got love. Thank you. They're finally making a consistent story. They're finally making a logical progression within these movies. I have to applaud that. It made sense. The dispersing of different ones, then moving to the next generation, new ones. War Machine being up in here, finally getting some shine. Okay, made sense. And they moved on. Now, how they dealt with Quicksilver was, but okay, it made sense in the context of the movie. Ultron, the voice acting with Ultron and Vision, I must say, was truly well done. And how they dealt with Ultron as a character was truly fascinating. Truly fascinating and original. Well done. They made each of the characters fresh and new to life. Unlike they were in the original movie. The first Avengers, it was like they were kind of almost pushing agendas. Like they were making them like, here's the characters. And that's it. Here's the characters, we're going to put them into action, we're going to have some conflict, then boom. We're just going to throw these characters together. That's the thing. They were throwing characters together that didn't belong together. By the second movie, in the Age of Ultron, you see stuff that made sense. You saw connections. You saw Nick Fury actually make sense in this movie. Okay? It wasn't, he was just this hard ass. He actually made sense as a leader. And it made sense of why they chose to go this route. See, they are completely, they're not rewriting the narrative, but they are changing, retelling it for a new generation, which is nice, which can, I much appreciate, but they kept with the staples. Captain America being the leader of the group for the most part, but Tony Stark also being kind of the co-leader, the Hulk. You could go either way, which version of Hulk you want to deal with, but they dealt with him very well. Black Widow, with her, not only was she a woman, but a woman within all of it. But her very human role in the matter, I really very much appreciate. Clint Barton and his veteran, it's like he'd been through everything and back. And how he was starting to become a mentor. He was starting to feel that kind of role. And here's this dude, and in one part, again, I don't want to spoil what happened, but in one part of the movie, he's telling him, like, yo, here I am with just a bow and arrow. I can't fly, I ain't got all this super speed, I ain't got all this crazy stuff, I ain't got super strength, none of this stuff. But I'll fight, nonetheless. You get out on that battlefield, you're a soldier. As simple as that. You do the mission. You complete the mission. Doesn't matter what the obstacles are. If you die, if you don't, but, you die with honor pretty much. Redemption for my character, because if you know the history of Clint Barton, and to some degree Black Widow as well, Hawkeye, he was more or less a villain, but then he changed and he became an integral part of this specific version of the Avengers. And I like the passing on of the mantle. I don't know where they'll take it. I also thoroughly enjoyed the speaking of Wakanda, vibranium. I thought they were going to introduce Black Panther up in there, but they ain't do it this time. But it's a possibility. It's a possibility, which is very nice. Not to mention the fact that we're going to have an Ant-Man movie. And Ant-Man and Wasp were two of the original 6 Avengers. But I see why they did. If you're going, okay, I'm fine with y'all giving Ant-Man some love in an entire movie. That is totally fine with me. You're actually making sense. You're building upon a franchise. You're building your own story of the Marvel Universe. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the efforts in which they are making. Very well done. Like I said, I try to make this spoiler-free as much as possible. Limited spoilers, I should say. But yeah, these are my thoughts and why I've kind of, I wouldn't say been converted, but I've been on a path of realization of what they're doing. I called out many of the names and whatnot with who I went with. I wasn't going to go, but I went with someone. The person wanted to go. And I'm like, let me give this a shot. Let me give this a fair one. And I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. Where they go from there, I haven't decided. Cool. Are they gonna make a third Avengers movie? Who knows? But the unexpected one, to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the movies. On the movie, try to keep it as spoiler free as possible, if you will, in case people haven't seen it by this point, because the movie is pretty recent. But alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.